Ladies and gentlemen, this is my week 5 reaction episode. Okay? Got to start with what the hell is going on with Baltimore? It sucks. It's shocking. Ravens fans have got to be losing their minds. This was, this was my Super Bowl favorite. But the defense, that's the whole thing. The defense is so broken. They're missing a ton of pieces. Derrick Henry can't get going to save his life. Uh, I don't even know how they turn this around. Obviously, they need Lamar back as early as next week. Hopefully, they're saying, but you know, there's still a lot of football left to go. And here's the kicker: I think they're still favored to win their division. I'm not joking. And so, I don't know. I'd love to see it turn around for them. I'd love to see them, go and trade for an AJ Brown or something. They need defensive pieces. Big time. But anyways, it's just that's got to be one of the biggest takes. Forget week 5, the whole season. My next reaction, Buffalo. I'm glad. I'm glad that they lost that game. I love the Buffalo Bills. I do. Who doesn't love Josh Allen and the Bills and their fan base and everything? And I, the pressure of being undefeated. Yeah, I know they're grown, highly paid individuals. I get all that, but it helps you when you lose, not only with the pressure, but to be truly honest with and fully transparent with who you are. The trade deadline is in 3 weeks. That team, I've said it on multiple podcast episodes, I really don't like that defense. And I'm not in love with their receiving core. Shout out to Kincaid. He's been balling. He was my start of the week. He looks great. He's the tight end 2 currently on the season, which is shocking in some ways, but it's great to see him get going. He was a buy low target in my dynasty leagues in the offseason during the summer because he kind of went under the radar last season with his injury, but he's doing well now. But I saw some rumors about an A.J. Brown thing. I don't think it's happening. Again, A.J. Brown, $90 million dead cap hit this season. I don't think Philly they're the best ran organization in football, possibly in sports right now. I don't see them taking a $90 million cap hit to lose Brown. What else? Shout out to the rookies. Specifically Emeka Egbuka. This guy, I could not be more impressed. Right now, he's the wide receiver 3 in fantasy. And he is just an absolute stud. I can't even, I look at him, and honestly, the rookies, I say rookies, really it's just him. If we did a redo rookie draft right now, how do you not take Egbuka at number 1 over Genti? I like Genti a lot, I do, but I'll transition. That Raiders team, dude, it's just a sloppy mess. The Raiders, the Seahawks look great with this deal, sending Geno. People were scratching their heads and they go and acquire Sam Darnold. Shout out to Sam Darnold. What a freaking stud he's been this season. He was amazing in this game. It was the best game on the slate by far, the Seattle and Tampa Bay game. Baker Mayfield on the other end. And what's shocking is those 2 QBs were left for dead on the same team at Carolina. Both got cut from that team. And shout out to both of them. They both completely resurrected their careers. They both look awesome. I'm super happy for them. I love watching them on Sundays. And I'm so impressed by both of them. And it speaks wonders for the players on their teams too. Who else? I don't know. I was just gonna cut this video because I didn't want it to be a super long episode by any means, but Indianapolis Colts, that offense, gangbusters. The Jets, only winless team in football. I don't know what to say about them. Uh, we don't have any perfect teams anymore, which was shocking that both the Bills and the Eagles lost both games at home. The Patriots, they are on the rise, man. And as crazy as that sounds with that running back situation with Stevenson, but they love him. And now Antonio Gibson tore his ACL. He's going to be out for the season. Stevenson's still going to be in their plans moving forward, and that's a good team. Drake May is playing out of his mind. He is a stud. That kid is a freaking stud. I'm talking top 5 dynasty QB. I love him in rest of season and region. I love him in all formats. I love Drake May. He's not just great in the NFL, he's great in fantasy too. And sometimes, a lot of times, like Justin Fields, for example, he's great in fantasy. He sucks as an NFL quarterback. He just does. And some guys are like that. What else? A lot of injuries are piling up and they're not like the sexy names. We get a lot of those too. Fortunately, which it's still nothing small here. We only really had one significant injury in Omarion Hampton. It's a bummer. It was a freak incident where he was running and his ankle just got tapped and it was the wrong way. He's at least out for 4 weeks. That sucks. He was just starting to really get going. And then Kyler Murray, I don't know what's going on with him. My goodness, Arizona, that was about as ugly of a collapse. They were up 25-3, 20-3, something. In Tennessee, listen, Tennessee fans, that's awesome that you guys got the win. To me, they're still the worst team in football. I mean, that they did not win that game looking good by any means. But it's the injuries. Back to my point about the injuries. It's the no names, the fantasy circles you're not paying attention to, but maybe you should, because the Chargers. I want to touch on this. The Chargers situation. Justin Herbert is so affected by the loss of Joe Alt on that offensive line. I don't even think I can recommend him a start right now until at least he comes back. Or they're missing 3/5 of their offensive line. They need to get healthy. It's really, truly affecting Herbert. He's not, I don't know how you play him right now because of that line. And now with no running game, that's stacked boxes left, right, and center all day. And a lot of offensive lineman injuries throughout the league. At like the record rate by all like big time record rate of offensive line injuries happening. A lot of defensive injuries. I mean, we just got through 5 weeks. We're only not even a third of the way down. Next week, after next week is a third of the way. And they're piling up. And they're the significant names that don't relate to fantasy, but affect fantasy. I mean, I think that I just have this feeling like when you're predicting Super Bowl champions, this and that, it's just going to come down to who the hell is this healthiest team. People are saying Jacksonville. I want to touch on Jacksonville. They're going, and it was a great game last night, 100%. It was an amazing game. But I read something, and they're like, oh, Jacksonville, they're the real deal. They're for real. I don't know. I don't think so. Is that wrong? I just don't think so. There's something. I know Trevor Lawrence played great. And shout out to Liam Cohen, first-year head coach, and for what he's doing. They should be 5-0. They lost that fluke game to, was it Cincinnati? That was the game that Burrow went out. And somehow they lost that game. I have no idea. But they Trevor Lawrence, that was probably arguably the best I've ever seen him play, but I don't know how consistent that's going to be. It's really weird with that team because of the whole Travis Hunter thing. Troy Aikman last night, he made a comment and he was saying back in 1996 when Aikman was playing on the Cowboys and they had Deion Sanders, Aikman got super frustrated about because that was when they started letting Deion play both sides of the ball. And Aikman, they were struggling. He just got frustrated and he was just like, "You're playing. Pick one. You got to play on offense. We need you." And I get that because look, Jacksonville are 4-1. People are calling them AFC contenders. I don't know, but I just feel like for them to move forward, I see him on offense, and I know he makes amazing plays on defense, but with that receiving cast, if I was a Jacksonville fan, here's what I'd want to do. I would want to make either a significant trade as a contender for either a nice stud wide receiver or a nice stud corner. And I don't know which one's easier to get right now, but because I'd love to see him just play a lot more on one side of the ball. The issue with Hunter, the scary part of it is, and it happened at Colorado, just it's common sense. You're playing those reps on both sides of the ball, twisting and turning. You're just setting yourself up for an injury against these professional players. He was doing that in college and getting hurt. This is the pros, and so for Jacksonville, I don't know. I'd love for them to just say, you know what, we're 4-1, should be 5-0. We got a legit chance here with Hunter. Let's just frickin' keep him on D 90% of the time, and let's go get a wide receiver. Because the more that I think about it, the more I think that it's going to be easier to get a receiver versus a corner. Who the hell is even out there? If there were legit corners out there, wouldn't Baltimore be on the horn? I don't see it. Wouldn't Buffalo and then Buffalo, back to Buffalo, this poor Matt Milano guy, their best defensive player, probably, him and Ed Oliver, this guy just came back from injury, and it looks like he's going to be out for the season now, again, with a pec injury. Buffalo need to make some moves. They can't just let Josh Allen do it all. They're going to make Josh Allen do it all again for another, 13 weeks, and then the playoffs? You can't do that to him. You've got to get some pieces. You got to spend the money. You got to figure it out. You got to get some weapons to help him on that team. Both sides of the ball, because it's just their defense is shot. Like they need weapons, and that's been the case. I want to give a shout out to New Orleans. Spencer Rattler. Look, no one had expectations, and that was a great win for them. Their defense really showed up. Who else do I want to give a shout out to? And then my last take is this. I just want to give a shout out to the consistent killers in fantasy right now. With all of the chaos, with all of the injuries, with everything going on, you find the positives and you go, look, you got Jonathan Taylor, just put up a hat trick. What an absolute stud this guy's been. Talk about a resurrected career, because he was still getting, it wasn't a situation like a McCaffrey, who I'll talk about next for the running backs, where when McCaffrey's on the field and he's healthy, he's locked and loaded, absolute beast. But the truth is, the whole thing is health with him and the wear and tear. But Taylor, even on the field, you hadn't seen it in a few years since he was that beast, top tier running back. And my goodness, dude, is he good? He makes me eat my words. And that's okay. Not eat my words, but just because I never really talked down about it. I just thought it was gone. And I hate that I didn't. He wasn't on my radar all off season. I don't have any shares of him, and now, and rightfully so, he's a king's ransom. You're not getting him like from anybody, but he's been unbelievably impressive. That whole Colts team, um, Christian McCaffrey, what a legend! What a legend! I mean, every single week over 20 points, just locked and loaded. You can't say that about anyone but right now. But with McCaffrey, it's been like that basically his whole career. If he's on the field, 27 points. That's like Mount Rushmore type of fantasy. Uh, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And shame on me, I only have 1 or 2 shares of him, and I traded him away in a couple. I didn't want the risk with him. I'm eating my words on that. He's worth it. Um, I just you know, I want to be done with even thinking about get high, sell him. I just want to think positive thoughts about him because he's so reliable, he's so consistent, and I just want to speak those out into the universe. I just want to say positive because all I feel like I've found myself saying when it comes to him is I'm just worried about him getting hurt again, or his degenerative knee issue popping up. Screw it. I want to because this guy every single week this season over 20 points. I mean, for your roster, that is such a relief. It's so comforting with all the other crap and the injuries and the ups and downs and the AJ Browns and and just, I took this person. What happened to Derrick Henry? You got a guy like McCaffrey in any format, and it's just, you can just breathe. I just wanted to give him a shout out. And the same thing with Puka frickin' Nacua. Oh my gosh. Like, this guy. So I started at the running backs. This dude for wide receivers, on one of the popular sites, they shot him up. Right now, he's currently the dynasty wide receiver #1 over Chase and Jefferson. But you know what? I don't blame him for doing it. And guys, that's saying something. Whether you're familiar with dynasty or not, that's saying a lot for him to overjump. Because dynasty, they're still thinking long term. He's made such an impression on so many people this season, because we were worried with Devontae Adams. Puka is as good as they get, as reliable as they get. There are few people in this league that it's all about football. You don't hear anything about them outside of football. They are locked in, dialed in. They are all 100% in on football. That's Baker Mayfield at QB. That's his rookie, Egbuka. That's freaking Puka Nacua, and that is Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I know he does his little podcast, but when he's on that field, he's blocking, he's throwing his butt, like, he's the next receiver. I don't even, like, Puka and St. Brown, I mean, they are just absolute. Because I think about it, and I think about, like, a coach's dream to have as a player. To have one of those two guys, I mean, it's just incredible. With the Puka situation, someone made a comment when they were talking about the game, and they said he's always open. That's a credit and kudos to Sean McVay in that system, because that's what they did for Cooper Kupp. Got him in open all the time. That led Cooper Kupp to a Triple Crown award. Puka is the exact same way, but he's better. And no diss to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp had a legendary career when he was at the Rams. He was great. Puka's on a different level. Whatever they're doing for the Rams where they can get him open, he is open all the time. And he is just, I mean, he's just incredible. Over 20 points. I mean, and St. Brown, I know he had 18, but my gosh, you feel so good if you have him and being able to put it. It sucks for JMO, but you know what's great about JMO? And this reaction episode's going a little longer than I expected, but I don't care. I'm sorry. Listen, don't listen. Just hopefully you do, but I just have to say this. So in the locker room after the Lions game, Sam Laporta got one of the game balls. And he made a speech and he said his favorite thing about the Lions team is that everybody is so selfless. They put the team first and themselves a distant second, right? The reason I'm bringing that up is because as for good as St. Brown has been this season, JMO isn't getting used. The Lions are averaging over 34 points a game. JMO's barely getting any targets, any catches. But the guy's spirits, he's so happy for everybody. His attitude is amazing. And that speaks volumes to him, to how that team has ran that culture. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Lions fan, but that's what we all want. That's what I always wanted for the Lions, for my whole existence being a Lions fan. And it finally happens. Attitude is everything in life. And for a guy like JMO, they're all competitive. Look what's happening with A.J. Brown in Philadelphia. They were 4-0, and he's making papers and headlines that he's upset that he's not getting the ball. JMO's not. JMO's encouraging the other guys. And I just, and Puka, so St. Brown, they're all dialed in. They all have each other's backs. And St. Brown is an absolute, he's so money. He is so freaking good. He gets better and better every day, every game. And Puka, the selflessness, where when they signed Davante Adams, and the first thing he said, he not only said Davante was the number one wide receiver on the team, he gave him his freaking jersey number. Just gave it to him. He didn't take any money for it. He gave up his jersey number to Davante and then credited him to being the wide receiver one. And listen, as good as Davante is, Puka is the one. Puka's the one in the league, let alone on his own team. And then at QB, really quick, I've given a shout out. I think Sam Darnold, it's incredible what he's doing, and stepped in and been awesome. Oh, one more wide receiver I got to give some love to. Not only Egbuka, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Man, is he good too. So consistent, so reliable, such a great player. I just wanted to give a shout out to him before I talk about the last person I'm going to talk about. No, actually, I got one more because I might as well do a tight end as well. Baker Mayfield. I salute you, man. You're all football. You're all football. You're one of the few dudes in this league that I feel would truly hide an injury just to keep playing, and I just love that guy. He is freaking, he's awesome. Dude was left for dead. He was done. Getting cut by Cleveland. Getting cut by Carolina when they had nobody. This guy was dead. He was backing up. He got signed by the Rams, backing up Stafford. Had to take the humble thing and work all his way back around. But that guy is an absolute freaking stud. Love me some Baker Mayfield. At tight end, Jake Ferguson. Wow. The tight end one on the season so far, where did that come from? I was out completely. He wasn't at all on my radar. I wasn't anticipating CeeDee Lamb to go out, but I just look. If you have any of those guys, don't trade them. Keep them. Rock with those guys, man. They are absolute just stalwarts in fantasy right now. In a crazy first 5 weeks of a season where so many, it's just been ugly with these injuries, and not just injuries, but these dumb penalties. That's one last thing I'm gonna say. These teams with these freaking dumb, no discipline, just unnecessary. I mean, what are they doing? Grow up, guys. You got to clean this up because these penalties, it's a joke. Um, and one other last thing too that I've noticed, what's going on with the kickers? How are so many people getting around and blocking punts and blocking kicks and getting there so on time? Before, when you'd watch football, you'd see once in a freaking blue moon, out of nowhere, you'd be like, oh, somebody blocked a kick. We've already had multiple block kicks, block punts, injured kickers, injured punters because people are breaking through and getting them. There's only one guy I've noticed, and I think it's the Tampa Bay punter. This dude takes so long. He gets the ball, and then it's just like like a freaking zombie, and then he comes up. He takes like 3 steps and then kicks it, and he every time it seems like this guy's leg just gets freaking chopped. You got to clean that up. And then the length that the kickers have added this season, they're all good for over 60. I mean, it's incredible. I think that the AFC North is crazy. I can't wait to see what happens with that. I can't wait to see how Buffalo bounces back, and if they use this as an opportunity to truly be real to themselves and go, we need to be buyers at this deadline. It can't just be all Josh. And I'm excited to see if Jacksonville are for real or not. And watch out for San Francisco too. They're getting it. They are getting like half their team back soon. So we'll see what happens with them. But super excited to dive into the week 6 starts of the week and preview coming up. Okay, guys? Stick with me. All right.